filter in Log4j. Now we are focusing on filter. Filters allow log events to be evaluated to determine if or how they should be published. A filter will be called on one of its filter methods and will return a result which is an enum that has one of three values: accept, deny, or neutral. Here you can see the marker filter cost comparison in advanced filtering. Here the lower is better. Both Logback and Log4j2 support advanced filtering. Logback calls then turbo filters, while the Log4j2 has a single filter object. Advanced filtering provides capability to filter log events using more than just the level before the event are passed to appenders. However, this flexibility does come with some cost. Since multithreading can also have an impact on the performance and of advanced filtering, the chart here shows the difference in performance filtering based on a marker or marker's parent. A simple marker comparison checks to see if a marker has no reference to other markers matches the request marker. The parent marker comparison check to see if a marker does not have a reference to other markers request marker. It appears a cost gain synchronization in SLF4J can impact performance in multi-threaded scenarios. Here you can see thread 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64, and here the average time in nanoseconds, inverse throughput. Here you can see the Log4j2 parent marker, here the Log4j2 simple marker, here logback parent marker and logback simple marker. Here is log3 here. Here you can see thread context filter cost comparison. Lower is better. Log4j and logback also support filtering on a value in the Log4j thread context versus filtering in logback on the value in MDC. The graph here shows that performance difference between Log4j2 and logback is small for the thread context filter. The filter comparison results here are obtained with the JMH Java benchmark harness. Here thread 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64. Here the average time in nanosecond and inverse throughput. Here you can see the Log4j2 thread context filter. Here logback MDC filter. We can consider interface filter. Interface that must be implemented to allow custom event filtering. It is highly recommended that applications make use of the filters provided with its implementation before creating their own. This is in Apache. This is in package org.apache.logging.log4j.co. The method new filter, filter command builder, new filter, plugin stream plugin name, filter.result on match here, and filter.result mismatch here. In the add attributes, adds a boolean attribute, key and value here, and this returns filter component builder, the new filter method, and this is added then to the builder, to the component build, to the configuration builder here. As an example 3, we can you can see here the class threshold filter. This filter returns the on-match result if the level in the log event is the same or more specific than the configured level in the on mismatch value otherwise. For example, if the threshold filter is configured with the level error, the log event contains the level debug, then on mismatch value will be returned since error events are more specific than debug. The default level is error. Is in package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter. This is method creates create filter, public static threshold filter create filter, creates a threshold filter. This is log level and the match, the action to take on match and the action to take on mismatch. The burst filter provide a mechanism to control the rate at which the log events are processed by silently discarding events after the maximum limit has been reached. The configuration containing the burst filter might look like this, and here the level is a string and the level of the message to be filtered. Anything at or below this level will be filtered out of max burst has been exceeded. The default is 1, meaning any messages that are higher than the 1 will be logged regardless of the size of the burst. And rate, this is a float value, and the average number of events per second to allow. The max burst, the integer, and the maximum number of events that can occur before events are filtered for exceeding the average rate. The default is 10 times the rate. Log4j, this is configuring filters. Log4j allows a filter to be specified in any of 4 places. One, at the same level as the appenders, loggers, and property elements. These filters can accept or reject events before they have been passed to a logger config. In the logger element, number 2, in a logger element, these filters can accept or reject events for specific loggers. Number 3, in an appender element, these filters can prevent or cause events to be processed by the appender. And number 4, in an appender reference element, these filters can be these filters are used to determine if a logger should route the event to an appender. Although only a single filter element can be configured. That element may be filters element which represent the composite filter. The filters element allows any number of filter elements to be configured within it. This example shows how multiple filters can be configured on a console appender. Now we are considering package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter. In module log.apache.login.log4j.co, the log4j2 filter support filter plugin should use configurable plugin namespace annotation and the element type value of filter. Now we are considering filters. Filters may be configured in one of four locations. The interface filter in package org.apache.login.log4j.co, in module log.apache.login.log4j.co, interface that must be implemented to allow custom event filtering. It is highly recommended that applications make use of the filters provided with this implementation before creating their own. Filters allow log events to be evaluated to determine if or how they should be published. A filter can be called on one of its filter methods and will return result, which is an enum that has one of three values: accept, deny, or neutral. Filters may be configured in one of four locations. Context-wide filters are configured directly in the configuration. Events that are rejected by the filters will not be passed to loggers for further processing. Once an event has been accepted by a context-wide filter, it will not be evaluated by any other context-wide filters, nor will the loggers level be used to filter the event. The event will be evaluated by logger and appender filters, however. 2. The logger filters are configured in a specified logger. These are evaluated after the context-wide filters and log level for the logger. Events that are rejected by the filters will be discarded, and the event will not be passed to a parent logger regardless of the additivity settings. 3. Appender filters are used to determine if a specific appender should be handled the formatting and publication of the event. 4. Appender reference filters are used to determine if a logger should route the event that to an appender. Now we are considering burst filter in filters. A configuration containing a burst filter might look like this. Class burst filter in package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter in module log.apache.login.log4j.co. The burst filter is a logging filter that regulate logging traffic. The burst filter provides a mechanism to control the rate at which the log events are processed by silently discarding event after the maximum limit has been reached. The burst filter parameters: level, string, level of messages to be filtered. Anything at or below this level will be filtered out of if max burst has been exceeded. The default is 1, meaning any messages that are higher than 1 will be logged regardless of the size of the burst. Rate, float, average number of events per second to allow. Max burst, integer, maximum number of events that can occur before events are filtered to exceeding the average rate. The default is 10 times the rate. A configuration containing a burst filter might look like this. Now we are considering composite filters. A configuration containing composite filter might look like this. Class composite filter in package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter in module log.apache.login.log4j.co composes and invokes one or more filters. Composite filter provide way to specify more than one filter. It is added to the configuration as filters element and contains other filters to be evaluated. The filters element accept no parameters. The configuration contained in the composite filter might look like this here. Now we are considering dynamic threshold filter. Here is a sample configuration containing dynamic threshold filter. The class dynamic threshold filter in package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter in module log.apache.login.log4j.co compares against the log level that is associated with the context value. By default, context is the thread context, but users may configure custom data indexer which obtain context data from some other sources. The dynamic threshold filter allows filtering by log level based on the specific specific attribute. For example, if the user logging ID is being captured in the thread context map, then it is possible to enable debug logging for only that user. If the log level does not contain the specified thread context, from neutral will be returned. The dynamic threshold filter parameters: key, the string, the name of the item in the thread context map to complete. The default threshold string, the level of messages to be filtered. The default threshold only appeared if the log event contains a specified thread context map item and its value is not match any key in the key value pairs. On match string, action to take when the filter matches may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to be taken when the filter does not match, may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is deny. Here is a sample configuration containing dynamic threshold filter. Now we are considering level range filter. Example configuration using level range filter. The class level range filter in package org.apache.login.log4j.co.filter in module log.apache.login.log4j.co. The filter returns the abstract filter onMatch result if the level of the log event is in the range of configured min level and max level values. Otherwise, it returns abstract filter.onMatch result. The default values for min level and max level are set to level.off and the level.all respectively. The default value for abstract filter.onMatch and abstract filter.mismatch are set to filter.result.neutral and filter.result.deny respectively. The level range filter allows filtering against that level range, where levels get compared by their associated integral values. of has an integral value of 0, fatal 100, and error 200, and so on. The level range filter parameters: max level, the type level, the minimum level threshold, default to off, and which has an integral value of 0. This example configuration, in this example configuration, the level range filter is configured with the max level set to info. The filter will return on mismatch result if deny. The default for log events level which higher integer value values than info, that is debug and trace, etc. Example configuration using level range filter here. Now we are considering map filter. As in this configuration, the map filter can be used to log particular events. Class map filter in package login.log4j.co.filter in module log4j.login.log4j.co, a filter that operates on a map. A map filter allows filtering against data elements that are in the map message. Map filter parameters: on match string, action to take when filter matches, maybe accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match, maybe accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is deny. Operator string, if the operator is O, then a match by any one of the key value pairs will be considered as a match. Otherwise, all the key value pairs must match. Key value pair array, one or more key value pair elements that define the key in a map and a value in value to match on. If the same key is specified more than once, the check for that key will automatically be an O, since a map can only contain single value. As in this configuration, the map filter can be used to log particular events. In this configuration, this sample configuration will exhibit the same behavior as the preceding one, since the logger configured is the root. In this third example, the configuration will exhibit the same behavior as the preceding example, since the only logger configured is the root, and the root is only configured with a single append reference. The marker filter, a sample configuration that only allows that event to be written by the appender if the marker matches. The marker filter compares the configured marker value against the marker that is included in the log event. A match occurs when the marker name and matches either the log event marker or on one of its parents. The marker filter parameters: marker string, name of the marker to compare; on match string, action to take when the filter matches, may be accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match, may be accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is deny. A sample configuration that only allows an event to be written by the appender if marker matches here. The class marker filter in package log4j.login.log4j.co.filter in module log4j.login.log4j.co. The filter returns the on-match result if marker in the log event is the same as or has the configured marker as the parent. Now we are considering a mutable thread context map filter, a sample configuration that allows the event to be written by an appender if the marker matches. The class mutable thread context map filter in package log4j.login.log4j.co filter in module log4j.log4j.co. The filter based on a value in the thread context map named DC. The mutable context map filter or mutable context map mutable thread context map filter or mutable context map filter allows filtering against the data elements that are in the current context. By default, this is the thread context map. The values to compare are defined externally and can be periodically pulled for changes. Mutable context map filter parameters: on match string, action to take when the filter matches, may be accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch a string, action to take when the filter does not match, may be accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is deny. Operator string, if the operator is O, then a match by one of the key value pairs will be considered to be matched. Otherwise, the key value pairs must match. Config location is string, a file path or URI that points to the configuration. Poll interval int, number of seconds to wait before checking to see if the configuration has been modified. When using HTTP or HTTPS, the several must support if modified since header or a return last modified header containing the date and the time the file was last modified. Note that by default only HTTP file and jar protocols are allowed. Support for other protocols can be enabled by specifying them in the system log4j2 configuration.allows protocol system property. Sample configuration that allows event to be written by the appender if the marker matches. Now we are considering no marker filter, a sample configuration that only allows event to be written by the appender if the no marker is there. The class no marker filter in package log4j.login.log4j.co.filter in module log4j.login.log4j.co. This filter returns a on match result if there is no marker in the log event. If no marker checks that there is no marker including the log event, a match occurs when there is no match in the log event. The no marker filter parameters: on match string, action to be taken when the filter matches, may be accept, deny, or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take the filter does not match, may be accept, deny, neutral. The default value is deny. A sample configuration that allows the event to be written by the appender if no marker is there. regress rejects filter, a simple a sample configuration that only allows the event to be written by the appender if contains the word test. Class rejects filter in package log4j.login.log4j.co.filter in module log4j.login.log4j.co. This filter returns on match result if the message matches the regular expression. The use raw message raw MSG attribute can be used to indicate whether the regular expression should be applied to the result of calling message.get message format true or message.get formatted get formatted message false. The default is false. The regex filter allows a formatted to unformatted message to be compared against the regular expression. The regex filter parameters regex the string the regular expression. On match string action to take when the filter matches may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is neutral. And on mismatch string action to take when the filter does not match may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is deny. The sample configuration that only allow event to be written by an appender if it is contains the word the asterisk word test. Here the script filter executes a script that returns true or false. Here the script filter parameters on match string action to take when the script returns true may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is neutral. And on mismatch string action to take when the filter returns false may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is deny. Script parameters the sample the sample below shows how to declare script fields. And then the reference to them to in specific components. Now we are considering structured data filter. As in this configuration, the structured data filter can be used to log particular events. The class is structured data filter in package log4j.log4j.co.filter in module log4j.login.log4j.co. Filter based on data in structured data message. Structured data filter is a map filter that allows filtering on the event ID, type and message. Structured data filter parameters key value on match string action to take when the filter does not match on match string action to take when the filter matches may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is deny. Operator string, if the operator is O, then the match by any one of the key value pairs will be considered to be match. Otherwise all key value pairs must match. Key value pair type key value pair array, one or more key value pair elements that define the key in the map and the value to match on. id dot id name, type and message should be used to match on the structured data id, the name portion of the structured data id, the type, the formatted message respectively. If the same key is specified more than once, then the check for that key will automatically be an O, since map can contain a single value. As this configuration, the structured data filter can be used to log particular events. Now we are considering thread context map filter. Configuration containing context map filter might look like here. The class thread context map filter in package Log4j log4j coded filter in module Log4j log4j core filter based on the value in the thread context map MDC. The thread context map filter or context map filter allows the filtering against data elements that are in the current context. By default, this is the thread context map. The context map filter parameters: on match string, action to take when the filter does not match. On match string, action to take when the filter matches may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match may be accept, deny or neutral. The default value is deny. Operator O, operator string, if the operator is O, then the mismatch by any of the key value pairs will be considered to be match. Otherwise all the key value pairs must match. Key value pair, the key value pair array, one or more key value pair elements that define the key in the map and the value to match on. If the same key is specified more than once, then the check for that key will automatically be O, since the map can only contain single value. The configuration contained in the key context map filter might look like this. A context map filter can also be applied to a logger for filtering. Now we are considering threshold filter, a simple configuration that only allows event to be written by the appender if the log level matches. The class threshold filter in package log4j code in filter in module log4j core. This filter returns on the on match result if the log level if the level in the log event is the same or more specific than the configured in the level and the on mismatch value. Otherwise, for example, if the threshold is configured the log level error and the log event contain the debug, then the on mismatch value will be returned, since the error event are more specific than debug. The default value is error. Thus, filtering returns the unmatched result if the level of the log event is the same or more specific than the configured level, or on the mismatch otherwise. For example, if the threshold is configured the level error and the log event contain level debug, that mismatch value will be returned since the error events are more specific than debug. Threshold filter parameters, the level string, valid level name to match on mismatch on match string, action to take when the filter matches, accept, deny or neutral, the default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match, accept, deny or neutral, the deny default is deny. The sample configuration or that only allows the event to be written by the appender if level matches. Time filter, a sample configuration that only allows the event to be written by the appender from 5 to 5:30 each day during the default time zone. The class time filter in package login to log4j core filter module login to log4j core filters that will fall within the specific time period of in each day. The time filters can be used to restrict filters to only a certain portion of the day. The time filter parameter start string a time in HH mm SS format, end string the time in the HH mm SS format, the specifying an end time less than the start time will result in no log entries being written. On match string, action to take when the filter matches, accept, deny or neutral, default value is neutral. On mismatch string, action to take when the filter does not match, accept, deny or neutral, the default value is deny. A sample configuration that allows the event to be written by the appender from 5 to 5:30 am each day during the default time zone. Now we are considering advanced filtering in features in Apache Log4j 3.x. Log4j 3.x supports filtering based on the context data, markers, regular expression, and other components in the log event. Filtering can be specified to apply all events before being passed to loggers or as they pass through appenders. In addition, filters can also be associated with loggers. Unlike logback, you can use common filter class in any of these circumstances. Now we are considering filtering by level in logging library performance comparison in performance. The most basic filtering logging framework provides is the filtering by log level. When logging is turned off entirely or just for set of levels, the cost of a log request consists of a number of method invocation plus the integer comparison. Unlike Log4j 2, loggers don't walk a hierarchy. Loggers point directly to the logger configuration that best matches the logger's name. This incurs the extra overhead when the logger is first created, but reduces the overhead every time the logger is used. Now we are considering supported filters in configuration garbage free steady state logging. The following filters are garbage free during steady state logging. Composite filter, adding and removing element filters create improved object for steady safety. Dynamic threshold filter, level range filter, garbage free since 2.8. Map filter, garbage free since 2.8. Marker filter, garbage free since 2.8. Structured data filter, garbage free since 2.8. Thread context map filter, garbage free since 2.8. Threshold filter, garbage free since 2.8. Time filter, garbage free since 2.8, except when the range must be recalculated as once per day. Other filters like burst filter, reject filter, and extreme filter are not trivial to make garbage free, and there is currently no plan to change them. Now we are considering filters in extending Log4j 3. The example below shows the filter used to reject log events based upon their logging level. Notice that typical pattern where all the filter methods resolve a single filter method. The module, the class abstract filter in module log4j coded filter in module log4j.co. Users should extend this class to implement filters. Filters can be either context-wide or attached to an append. A filter may choose to support being called only from the context or only from appender, in which case it will only implement the required methods. The rest will default to return the filter.result.neutral. It might be expected, the filters are used to reject and accept log event as they pass through a logging system. A filter is declared using at configurable annotation with an element type of filter. The value attribute at plugging annotation is used to specify the name of the element. Users should use to enable the filter. Specifying print object attribute with the value of true indicates that the call to toString will format the argument to the filter as the configuration is processed. The filter must also specify at plugin factory method or at plugin factory builder class and method that will call to create the filter. The example here shows the filter used to reject log events based on based upon their login level. Notice the typical pattern where all filter methods result to a single filter method. Create threshold filter, param log level, the log level, param on match, the action to take on match, and the param on mismatch, the action to take on mismatch. The return the created threshold filter. Sorry, this is level, so this goes here. The toString is here actually, sorry. As another example, we can consider this error occurred in the environment with OpenJDK version 11.0.10 and OpenJDK runtime environment, Correcto 11.0.10.9.1, and OpenJDK 64-bit server VM Correcto 10.9.1, users /users, etc., and error duplicate class org.apache.login.log4j.core.filter.burst filter, etc.